Hello, everybody. Dale Dickerson, Coach Jason Russell. Coach, it's been a couple of weeks since we had a coach's show because of the open date and other factors, but it's nice to come in after this period with a win.
Absolutely. It's a whole lot. We were joking before we got on here. The sun shines brighter, the flowers are prettier, and everything else.
Yep.
I mean, it just, after a win, and I'm glad, proud for our kids. We've worked really, really hard this season. I went through and looked at the records because I knew we played really good competition before this game. I went through and calculated up. I was just curious of how good the competition was. 30-8 was the record of the 5 games that we had lost. So we've played, really the best, most of the best teams in the north part of the state, and unfortunately we have been very close to winning those games, but we just hadn't got over that hump. And it was really, really nice to come out of this game with a win, and our kids feel better, and I want that for them for sure.
Yeah, well, you talking about the competition. We played Grenada. They're number 2 in 6A. Game coming up is Saltillo, who's number 3 in the state in 6A.
Yep.
Cleveland Central is in the top 5 in 5A.
They're undefeated.
Undefeated.
Yeah.
I mean, so we have played some really stout competition. Horn Lake's having a great year. They've only lost 2 games.
That's right.
So
that's right, and we're 2 points away from that, and I think if that game has a couple more minutes left on the clock, we were driving and we had a chance to just win it right there at the end, and we just ran out of time in that one. So I mean, we're a much improved football team in my opinion.
Yep.
I think the people that have come and watched us play can see that the product on the field, the kids are better, they're playing better. There's a lot of positives that we've had. Like I said, some of it is we've been a little bit outmatched, school size wise and all that kind of stuff, and then just played really good competition. So, I'm proud of our kids. I just, sometimes it's hard for 14 to 18-year-olds to understand that and to be resilient. And I feel like our kids were this past week, and we got a heck of a challenge in front of us this week as well with South Panola. So.
Well, we were also shorthanded. Dominic Popo was out, concussion-like symptoms, and he
Yep.
rotates in every other series for quarterback. Tyler Leggett was out, and you
Yep.
mentioned maybe a lineman or something out. So
Yep.
we were.
We were piecemeal on the offensive line. I mean, we actually practiced on Monday last week. We had a freshman in there on the offensive line. I mean, we don't have a lot of depth there, and we had a couple guys out due to injury, and so. Those guys were able to make it back for the game Friday, but practice, you do it for a reason. It's important. And
Yeah.
so those guys, that was tough on them, not to practice all week and then to come in and try to play the game. They weren't their best selves. And so we had, that's part of football. That's part of what you have to do.
Well, I also saw that you had to put a couple of your offensive linemen on the defensive line that
Yeah.
played and made them have to play a whole lot more snaps than they're used to playing.
That's right. We, I thought those 2 guys, Justin Griffin and Michael Pride, I thought both of them played exceptional.
They did.
On the defensive line. If you look at the film, we've had some issues with getting knocked back. Especially at the end position, we shored that up. We moved big Braylon Warren out there to defensive end too, and then the other defensive end, we took 2 offensive linemen to play 1 spot. So they're still getting rest and still getting some time off the field. But Justin and Mikey can play that 1 defensive end and let Braylon play that other one, because we're playing against so many teams that want to run off tackle, off tackle, off tackle, and so we put our biggest, strongest guys right there where they want to run the ball.
Okay. Well, we got some really good highlights this week. We came out scored 35 points in the first half.
Yeah, we're rolling the first half.
We really did. I mean, everything we did clicked. It just was just a dynamic first half with the offense.
Well, you look at that backfield, and I kind of had it set up. The first 3 drives, I had them scripted and what I wanted to do, and the first drive we came out and what is 11 personnel, where you have a running back and you have an H back, and we brought Big Braylon over and played him at H because we wanted that a little bit of extra size and weight to kick out that end and run downhill. We had some success there, and then the second drive we came out in our 10 personnel package where we had 4 receivers on the field. We played pretty well there. We drove the ball down the field, and then the third series we came out in our 20 personnel package, which is our 2 running back package, and that's where we really stayed. I thought that of all three of them, that was the one that really gave us the best advantage. And so that was kind of my thought process going into the game. I was going to say, hey, 1, 2, 3, and then we'll know at that point, what's clicking, what's working best against what they're doing. And
that package really worked well because both running backs really did a good job, especially when you ran that left side. And Deuce was blocking on that side. I mean, you had some really good blocking all the way down the field on that side.
Absolutely. And, and then there's quarterback runs. I mean, he had run for what he rushed for 148, the quarterback did. So you got, Kylan Rhodes and Brandon Perry out there. Both of them are 4.5 or 4.4 guys, and then you got our quarterback right there who's just a phenomenal athlete and great runner with the football, and Thomas. And that's 3 backs that they have to worry about at all times in the backfield. So I think that's tough for the defense. We do a lot of misdirection stuff in there, and the guys go in different directions, and all of a sudden, who's got the ball? So I really like that package for us.
Okay. Well, let's look at some of these highlights here. This first one is a 16-yard run with Kylan Rhodes, which set up our very first touchdown.
Yep, absolutely. It's just a sweet play right here. Just getting to the edge, and we've got Kylan's a 4.4 guy, Brandon's a 4.5 guy. We've got a ton of speed back there, and if we can get to that edge, it's just tough for defenders, and so that's what we're doing there. Just running a sweep.
I was surprised that they actually got to Kylan before he scored. Once he got out, I didn't think they
I was too.
Angle.
I was too. I guess they just took a really good angle there because he normally outruns everybody. Yeah. So. Yeah.
Okay, the next one is we got a long run by Thomas Hefner here for a touchdown, and it was a beauty of a run.
Yeah, it's a little zone read right here. He sticks a foot in the ground. That guy goes out, and so his rule is to keep it there. Look at him make this guy miss right here. It takes 2 guys out when he does that. Look at the downfield blocking by Kylan Rhodes right there.
Yeah.
Just Deuce, like you mentioned earlier, Deuce blocked really well. He's down the field blocking. Kylan's down the field. And that's the effort that it takes to win ball games. And, if Kylan's not down there for that last block, Thomas probably gets tackled right before he gets in the end zone, and then you never know. But,
right.
So, great job by those guys getting down there and finishing the play.
That was a very impressive run. All right, we got another touchdown. This was a beautiful pass that threw over to Jay Wells.
Yeah, I looked out there and we had press man coverage. Number 7 is the better of their corners, so number 4 was the lesser of the two, and I knew kind of coming into the game that if I got a matchup and a chance, I wanted to take advantage of that on him. And when I saw him down there pressing like that, I thought, hey, we got a shot right here. We can go take it and score. Thomas throws a beautiful fade ball, and Jay runs a really good fade, so all worked out.
It did. All right, next one is right after they scored, we got another touchdown this is a long run here by Thomas. This is just only 50-something seconds left in the first half when he gets this run.
After we took that shot on to Jay and got that touchdown, they were worried about 4 in coverage, and so they actually brought their safety over there and played and bracketed him. So they had the corner down low, and he was playing press coverage down, and then they kept a guy over the top so we couldn't throw another fade. And what that did to them is that made them really, really weak to the boundary. And so because we saw that, and we just kept running the ball to the boundary and taking advantage of what they were giving us.
Well, in this particular case, like I said, it was only 50-something seconds left. He runs that ball for about 35 yards. Mm-hmm. They hit him out of bounds. We get another 15, so we're in business.
Yep.
And I didn't think we only had like one time out, so I didn't think we had a chance to score from where we started out. And this next play is the very next play. Yeah. They hand the ball off to Brandon Perry, and he's gone.
Yeah, like I said, this kid can fly. Watch him right here. He bounces it out the edge and then sees the cutback lane right there, and nobody's going to catch him. So great run by him. I think he finished up with about 70 yards rushing in the game, and so we had what does the stats say? We had Brandon with 70-something. Kylan was 60-something.
71 for Brandon Perry. Kylan at 64, and Hefner ended up with 157.
I shortchanged him a little bit. I think it was in the 140s. Yeah. So when you have 3 backs that run the ball like that, right at 300 yards rushing, it was a really good night running the ball for us.
So we went into right there at halftime on a 2-play drive, about 65, 70 yards, and score. In like 12 seconds.
Yeah, it wasn't bad, right?
It's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
All right, this next is we get a touchdown by a punt return. Jay Wells made a great punt return here. I thought he was going for 6.
Yeah, I did too. I thought he was about to take it to the house. But he sets us up in an amazing field position here with this run, and we actually score on the very next play.
Yes.
So, you know, special teams are important. They're really, really important, and he gives us great field position. And you know, it's kind of demoralizing for the defense, and they come out there and they're already on their 20, 30-yard line. I mean, and then here we come the next
this
play.
was a tough punt because it was a low line drive. It was not an easy catch because he had to run up catch. Those are not easy to catch.
No, they're not. No, they're not. So.
All right, this next one is the pass. No, this is Thomas Hefner runs it in. This is the one right before half, I guess.
Yeah, this is right after this, and
this is the 5th touchdown.
Yep.
And again, look at their blocking down there, Kylan and
Deuce. I mean, both of them
double teaming that last guy.
That's right. That's right. And again, that stuff doesn't happen if we don't have guys that are being selfless and going down and doing their job, even though they're not going to get the touchdown. They're blocking for their buddy. They're blocking for their teammate, and so proud of those guys for how they played.
All right, second half, like you said, we were talking earlier, we didn't get but 3 or 4 possessions. One of those kneel down possessions. So they came back and scored a couple of touchdowns and made it a game. And we're down toward just the last few minutes, maybe less than a minute left to go in the game. And this last highlight is when, is it Akita Phillips?
Yeah, Akita Phillips.
Akita. Yeah. He comes in with a big interception, and he just played the ball beautifully.
Yeah, senior right here. Good job just playing the ball right here. They throw it up here. They're down on time, and he just goes up and makes a great play on the ball and seals the game for us.
I think he had one other time, but I think the ball went right through his hands for another interception.
He did.
I think he should have had 2 that night.
Yep.
Well, you know, we were talking about the way the game started. It was almost like the Center Hill start. Second play, we fumble. They come in and run a reverse and score. We're down 8-0.
Yeah.
With really quick, and you're thinking, oh no, not again. But I mean, we responded well with 5 touchdowns in that first half. So
yeah.
Great effort in that first half.
Yeah, proud of our kids. You know, they, like you said. I mean, that happened to us in the Center Hill game, and what did we do? We just fought, and stayed in the game, got ourselves back in the game, and at the end of the game had a chance to win it almost. You know, right there, and then unfortunately came up a little short on that one. But this one again, we make a mistake, put the ball on the ground early. We don't need to do that, but mistakes happen, and we came roaring back. And our kids never really checked up and just kept playing ball, and good things happen when you play with great effort.
Well, it was a great win. We were joking, we about blew our fireworks budget in that first half, but it was. I heard my brother lives down around the corner from the field, and he said, "I knew you all doing good because the fireworks kept going on to scare my dog."
Well, look, I'll tell you this right now. I'll go find a fireworks store somewhere and buy more if we need to now. So.
All right. Well, Friday night, like I said, we got the number 3 team in the state, 6A, Saltillo, on their field. So got a tough task ahead of us.
Oh yeah, they've got those fancy LED lights and all that stuff, and they'll be flashing them and all that and everything like we saw at Grenada. But our kids are going to get up for the game. They're going to be excited about it. There's something special about playing Saltillo. It's an old rivalry for us, and we want to go out there and play really well. We went into this game last year. And we're struggling a little bit in the season, and we went out there and scored more points on Saltillo than anybody had all season.
Yes, I remember that.
And we just kind of, we went into it, and my whole thing going into that week was swing your sword. It's Mike Leach deal. We are going to go out there and we're going to let them have it and give them everything we've got, and in the fourth quarter, see if we've got a chance to win the ball game. And last year we did that, and we had a chance to be competitive right there till the end. We're going to do the same thing this Friday night. They're going to be bigger than us. We know that going into the game, but we're going to take advantage of those things and that we do well and see where things fall.
Okay. Well, like I said, we'll be there Friday night, 7 o'clock. If you can't make it, OBTV Live will be there to bring you the broadcast. I want to thank everybody for tuning in today, and we'll see you next week.